Welcome to today's practice. We will start finding our way into child's pose. Make sure that you feel comfortable. If it's possible, try to keep connection between your heels and your butt cheeks. Wiggle a little. Allow yourself to arrive into this posture, onto the mat, arriving into your own body. Take a few breaths. Notice how you feel today. If there are any tight spots, if you can breathe into them. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice, if you have one. And whenever you're ready, climb your fingers onto the tips, take elbows off the mat, and we start by walking hands towards the right side. And we find a nice stretch to the left side of the body. You decide how far you walk your hands, whether you want to take your left hand over the right one to intensify the stretch. And slowly walking our hands to the other side, to the left. Maybe right hand over the left one, finding the other side of the same stretch. And back to the center. We will go in for one more variation in child's pose for a twist. We're going to start by taking left elbow in front of the right knee and your palms touching. Pressing away from the lower palm. Maybe you lean away from the mat, maybe towards the mat. Find your sweet spot. Take a few breaths. And walking both elbows to the other side. Taking that left elbow now up into the sky, the other side of the twist. And slowly walking your elbows to the center, find your way into child pose, and we're going for a few rounds, a little spinal rolling. On inhale, going to start rolling your back, taking shoulders over the wrist, and on exhale, moving your hips back onto the heels. On inhale, rounding the back, finding a little back bend and drawing your butt cheeks back. Maybe you want to go in for a few intuitive movements, a few circles with your hips, or bigger circles, movement with your entire body. Try to release tightness, tensions in your spine in the way that your body wants you to. And from there we will start preparing into our first downward dog of this practice. Make sure that you relax your neck, your jaws. Maybe you want to start by walking the dog, stretching one leg, the other. And then take a few moments of stillness, few breaths, feeling the qualities of the downward dog of today. We will go in for a little twist. Let's take that left hand towards the right leg, looking under the armpit, finding the sky. And to the other side, right hand towards the left leg and finding your twist. Engage your core, find your balance. And start walking your hands in the direction of the feet. On inhale, go halfway up, and exhale, forward fold. And again, on inhale, halfway up, try to elongate your spine and keep the length when you move into forward fold. One more round, in. And this time we stay for a few breaths into forward fold. You can keep your legs straight or bent. Maybe you want to grab your opposite elbows. Add a little swaying from right, left, or maybe if you want to go a little deeper, you can grab your big toes from inside with index finger, middle finger, and the thumb, or maybe you want to take a step onto your hands. Find a variation that is working for you. And bend your knees, release your hands, start rolling your spine up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Going to take a walk to the front of the mat. On inhale, take your hands over, interlace your finger, move towards the right side, stretch the side of the body and towards the left side. On inhale, find your back bend and back to the center. We're going to take a step towards the long side of the mat into the goddess posture, right leg stepping to the side. On inhale, straightening your hands, your leg, and exhale, finding the goddess posture, 3 rounds. And we will go for a little circle here, warming up the spine, big circle. Take 3 circles, keep moving on the breath, and then we're going to shift to the short side of the mat. Left leg is bent, left hand up, Left hand stepping onto the right wagon for side plank, then 3 variation. That left foot onto the right thigh, pressing hips higher, and step your left hand to the back into wild thing, pressing hips to the sky, stepping with left leg to the front of the mat. From here we start bending both knees, sitting into shoelace, knees stacked over the knee. Inhale, hands over the head, and left hand to the left side, right hand to the left side, stretch. Going to the other side, right hand to the mat, you decide how far, left hand over. Take that left hand to the front and find your way into 3-legged dog, kicking left leg up. Find Vinyasa, maybe 3-legged Vinyasa, maybe any other variation, and we will meet in downward dog. Take a step, walk, jump to the front. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, forward fold, and inhale, hands over the head. On inhale, hands over, interlace your finger. We start by moving towards the left side stretch and the right side. On inhale, find your way into back bend, and again stepping into the goddess posture, this time left leg stepping to the long side of the mat. We can go for a variation where you press your knees away, try to open up your hips. You can add a little stretch, twist, pressing away from the knee. Inhale, straighten up your legs, hands, find your goddess posture. Inhale again, strong legs, hands over the head, interlace your fingers behind and find your forward fold. Breathing in and out, strong position, hands pulling in the direction of the mat. Now we're going to take hands onto the side of the ankles, the right hand to the left leg, find your twist, and your left hand towards the right ankle, finding the twist. Back to the center, strong legs, find your way all the way up. We're going to move to the short side of the mat, right hand all the way up, right knee bend. And again, finding your way into the side lunge. Left hand might be hooked behind your left knee. If you want, you can go in for a bind. Right leg is strong. Flex. Foot, toes pointing up. Moving towards the right knee. Right hand hooked behind your right knee. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you find your bind. Left leg stretch. Foot flex, toes pointing up. And shifting to the long side of the mat. Right hand up, now right leg stepping to the left one, high side plank. Find the 3 variation. Take that leg onto the thigh, and from here step into wild thing. Step the right foot back. Take a big step, right foot again to the short side of the mat, and we sit into the shoelace, the other side. We're going to start by taking right hand under the left one. Press palm into palm, elbow into elbow, and find your forward fold. This will intensify the sensations in your hips. Take a few breaths. When you're ready, start maybe straightening your spine, releasing your hands, find your way to the side, and we go into the transition, sitting again into the shoelace. From here, we are going to take left hand under the right one. Again, pressing hands into hands, elbows into elbows, and find your forward fold. If you have doubts about the transition, I have a separate YouTube short video about it. You can always check it out. Find your way out of the posture. Take both hands to the Side transition into three-legged dog, that right leg up, maybe one-legged vinyasa or any vinyasa of your choice, and we meet in downward dog. Take a few breaths. Take a walk, step, jump to the front, inhale halfway up, exhale forward, fold, and inhale all the way up. Take a moment and get yourself ready on inhale. On inhale, we are going to take hands again over the head. Exhale, swan dive into forward fold. Find your vinyasa. Take a step, walk, jump into high plank. Maybe chaturanga, upward dog, maybe any other variation. And we meet in downward. We're going to take the right leg all the way up. Open up the hip, bend your knee, find your scorpio tail. From here, right knee, right leg stepping in between your hands for your low lunge. Find a crescent, a little back bend, taking your hands behind. If you want to intensify, bend your elbows. You can climb your right toes to the tips, finding more balance. And from here, that right hand will open up into cactus shape, right elbow, then on exhale touching left knee. And again, opening into cactus shape, right elbow to the left knee. Inhale and exhale, again stretching your right leg, finding that half split. Eventually bend your left knee and with your right hand find your foot and deepen this grip to find a twist. Finding your way back to the center. Take a step with right leg all the way up into three-legged dog, tapping right knee to the right elbow, up, and exhale to the left elbow and up. Take a step to the front, finding your high lunge. Find cactus shape, dip your left knee in and all the way up and down, up. Again, one third round. Take a step into warrior one. We are going to interlace fingers behind, press palms down and find your humble warrior. Head goes into the mat, hands over the head. Take a few breaths all the way back into warrior one. Open up into warrior two. Shoulders in one line. Strong legs. Flip your palms. Reverse the warrior. From here, we're going to go into triangle. Straighten up front leg, right leg, and find a triangle. One line in your shoulders. Engage your back muscles and core. From the strength of your legs, we're going to start finding our way up into warrior two. Flip and reverse. And finding your way into vinyasa. If you want, you can always go in for this three-legged variation or any other vinyasa of your choice. Let's meet in downward dog. Take a few breaths. Using your hands to press those hips higher into the back, higher into the back. Take a step, walk, jump to the front. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, forward fold, and inhale, hands over the head. Find your way into the neutral standing position. Let's go for the other side. Inhale and exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, forward fold. Take a step, walk, jump into vinyasa of your choice. We're going to meet in downward dog. From here, we're going to take a left leg all the way up. Open up the hip, bend your knee, find your scorpio tail. And left leg stepping in between hands for low lunge. First, find your crescent, opening your chest, maybe bending your elbows. You can always climb your left toes to the tips. Take a few breaths, and from here, right hand down, left hand will go all the way up, opening into cactus shape, and exhale, finding half split, stretching left leg. And again. On inhale, opening right hand, right elbow, cactus shape, and then finding the other knee. From here, we're going to bend that right knee, and with your left hand you're finding your foot, and again use the grip to find a deeper twist. Trust your body. Maybe this is a little too much for you. Don't push too hard. And take a step into three-legged dog. Find your way into high lunge. And again, inhale, maybe you're bending your knee, cactus shape, exhale up. And in up, you can also change the variation where you're exhaling down, inhaling all the way up. You have to go with what feels better. Interlace your fingers behind your back, press your palms down, and find your humble warrior. Sitting deep and deep onto the left leg, feel this is also a hip opener. Strong legs, finding your way up, opening into warrior two. Flip your hands, reverse your warrior. And from here, we're going for triangles. We're going to straighten up left leg. Move as much as you can to the front. When there is no more to the front, open up into triangle. Shoulders one line, engaging back muscles and belly muscles. Strong legs, find your warrior two, reverse. And both hands onto the mat. Three-legged dog. Dip and tap your left knee into the left elbow, and on exhale to the right elbow, and find your vinyasa of your choice. Let's meet in downward dog. Take a few breaths. Notice how different this downward dog feels, and when you're ready, bend your knees. We will go in for 3 rounds of camel posture. Find your way onto the knees. Maybe you want to tuck your toes, and from here we're going to find our ankles. You want to create a big deep back bend, pressing your hips as much as you can to the front and allowing your neck to fall to the back. If you have no problems with the neck, you can go for it. Going to take a few breaths. It's easy and soft if you sit down to release the posture. You can sit on the heels and find your way in for a second round. Every time you might feel more opening in the chest. This is a very, very deep posture, so be careful. You can always go in for a little softer variation. So when you release this one, you can also try just taking hands onto the lower back, pressing your hips, or go with one hand at a time, opening the chest. So this is also something you need to consider. From here, for a moment, let's move into child's pose. Allow your back to round. Take a few breaths to connect with your body, with your heart rate. A little variation is where you can take your left hand to swing under the right one to feel this nice compression on the left shoulder joint. Take a few breaths. Still rounding the back, but adding a little something extra. And we can also go for the other side. Open up that left hand to the sky, back to the center. This time, right hand sliding after under the left one. Take a few breaths. Again, just notice maybe how different the sensations on both sides are. And release. We will go for one more posture, a saddle. So you want to sit on the floor in between your legs, and if you can, go all the way back. Maybe you even interlace opposite elbows over the head. This is a very deep posture, so maybe you don't go that low. Maybe you stay on your hands behind, or maybe only onto the forearms. You can also sit on the block or on the pillow if this is not comfortable to stay on the mat with your butt cheeks in between your legs. So again, find your variation. And we're going to slowly start releasing this posture. Take a moment to shift into the seated position. We're going to go into a forward fold, legs straight, feet flexed, toes pointing up. Inhale and exhale, forward fold. Take a few breaths. Focus on the breath more than pulling. Deep inhales to the belly, chest, and on exhale, allow your belly to go deeper. We're going for a side variation. Bend your left knee, open to the left side, and take your hands over the right leg. You're going to feel the stretch to the side of the body. Few breaths. Start rolling your spine up. Hug your left knee into the chest. Extend and go for the other side. This time right knee opening to the right side, and you're maybe finding your left foot. Again, few breaths. Stretching the other side of the body. And inhale. Start rolling your spine up. Hug your knee. Straighten up the legs, and we go for twists. So let's bend the knees. Hands to the side of the body. Let's take that right leg over the left one, maybe hooking your right foot behind the left calf. Just find a variation that works for you. Taking both knees to the left side. Take a few breaths into abdominal area, lower back area. And this is from where twist is happening. And with the help of your hands, find your way to the center. We're going to take that left leg over the right one. Again, maybe you hook your foot behind the calf. Maybe you keep it to the side. And find the other side of the twist. Again, a few breaths. Lower back and abdominal area. And whenever you feel you're ready, you can slowly start taking your knees back to the center. If you want, take a moment in happy baby, bend your knees 90-degree angle. You can always add a little bit of rocking from side to side. Notice if your body needs anything extra before going in for Shavasana. When you feel you're ready, relax completely. Hands alongside of the body, palms facing down, your feet loosely falling to the sides, and just connect with your breath, connect with the body. A few moments of complete stillness. Whenever you're ready, maybe add a little wiggling to your fingers, toes. Maybe you want to give yourself a nice big stretch. Find your way into your favorite side, a few breaths on the side, and eventually use your hands to press back into the seated position. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.